To the Town of Abingdon's Historic Preservation Review Board's regular meeting. I'm Betsy White, the chair. This is a citizen board appointed by the Town Council to interpret and uphold Abingdon's Historic Preservation Ordinance, which is Chapter 44, Section 2-4 of the Abingdon Zoning Ordinance that protects the historic district of Abingdon, which has been designated the Old and Historic District, along with all of its contributing resources, including its buildings, structures, and sites, from negative encroachment resulting from inappropriate construction, design, alterations, or demolitions. Our review process is guided by our design review guidelines, which are based on the United States Secretary of Interior's standards for rehabilitation. Our aim on this board is to provide a positive bridge of support between the design review process and property owners seeking to make changes, working together through the natural partnership that exists between us for mutual good. The result will be to ensure Abingdon's Historic District continues as a valuable asset and one that makes Abingdon a good place to live, to work, and to visit. We appreciate your interest, and we encourage public participation in our meetings. Your comments are important to our decision-making process, so anyone who addresses the board, please approach the podium, identify your first and last name, and give your complete mailing address. Roll call.
Mr. Boyd?
Here.
Mrs. Pillion?
Here.
Mrs. Hartshorn? Mrs. White?
Here.
And Mrs. Bunn?
Here.
All right, so we have a quorum. The first thing we'll do is approve. We have two sets of minutes to approve, the work session minutes of July the 2nd and the regular meeting of July the 2nd, and they were found in our packets. So let's take the work session minutes first, please. So if everybody's had time to review them, all we need is a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been made by Amanda Pillion to approve the minutes from the work session of July 2nd.
I'll second.
Peyton Boyd seconds the motion. Roll call.
Mr. Boyd?
Aye.
Mrs. Pillion?
Aye.
Mr. Hartshorn is absent. Mrs. White?
Aye.
And Mrs. Bunn?
Abstain.
Okay. We have a motion passed. Mrs. Bunn abstained because she was not present. The rest voted aye. All right, then we have minutes of the regular meeting from that same day of July 2nd. They also have been in your packets. You've had time to review them.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Okay, Amanda Pillion makes a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of July 2nd.
I'll second.
Peyton Boyd seconds the motion to approve the minutes from July 2nd's regular meeting. Roll call.
Mr. Boyd?
Aye.
Mrs. Pillion?
Aye.
Mrs. White?
Aye.
And Mrs. Bunn?
Abstain.
Okay, so both sets of minutes are approved. So we'll proceed now to our certificates of appropriateness. The first certificate application is from Autumn Linkus, who is the applicant, and the owner is Jerry Sines. We have a staff report that we'd like to hear first.
So Autumn Linkus, applicant, TYL Holdings LLC owner, and Jerry Signs Incorporated representative have requested approval of a certificate of purpose for a 14.86 inch by 15.66 inch, 2 square foot, non-illuminated, double-sided CNC carved HDU freestanding sign hung within the existing painted black rectangular steel frame, and a 96 inch by 48 inch, 32 square foot, non-illuminated, single-sided MDO wall sign placed within the existing painted purple wooden frame attached to the west elevation. Property is located at 301 East Main Street, parcel 013-1-72, and the property is within the Old and Historic District, Subdistrict 1, Civic/Business Focused. Background: Currently located within the existing Town of Abington brick sidewalk running along East Main Street is an existing 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch by 8 foot 1.5 inch natural wooden post with a painted black rectangular steel frame. Currently attached to the west elevation of the building is an existing 96 inch by 48 inch wall sign set within an existing painted purple wooden frame with evidence of external illumination. Also, just some more background to add, this was part of the, this was an existing sign that's here already before, and so it's just always been in this area, and this is part where we expanded in 2023. So this wasn't, it's not, it hasn't been in since like the 70s, the 80s, it's just recently been in since 2023. So that's the reason why for the bigger sign on the side. So the applicant proposed to install a 14.86 inch by 15.66 inch, 2 square foot non-illuminated double-sided CNC carved HDU freestanding sign as shown in the rendering provided. Here's just where you can kind of see the sign on the sidewalk here in front of the main facade of the building. The proposed freestanding sign will be set within a painted black steel frame with welded eye hooks. The proposed freestanding sign will be hung within the existing painted black rectangular steel frame using a combination of painted black S-hooks and chain links. This was just a temporary sign for before. This way the business could have some signage until they came to the meeting. So this will be removed, this kind of cover here, and this is what it will look like when finished. It will also have a steel frame around the sign to give extra support to it with the wind. The applicant proposes to install a 96 inch by 48 inch, 32 square foot non-illuminated single-sided MDO wall sign as shown in the rendering provided. So you can see where it's been existing, and it was externally illuminated. The proposed wall sign will be set within the existing painted purple wooden frame attached to the west elevation of the building. The existing gooseneck lights and conduits will be removed, and the electrical outlets used to supply electricity to the gooseneck lights will be capped and painted to match the existing wooden clapboard color. So that's why before it was an illuminated sign, they're going to make it non-illuminated and cap the electrical outlets there and take away all the conduits, and the remains of the gooseneck lights, which you see are kind of just the skeleton of what they were here. Again, just to reiterate, this building was just put into the OH in 2023 when we expanded. So that's the reason why for the sign. In the past, with other properties that have come before you that have been in this other district, if the existing sign is there, even though it's bigger than the 4 square foot, the board has let it go because it's still existing. Now, if that was totally taken down, it'd be a different story. But that's how the boards operate in the past. If you have any questions for me, again, here's the freestanding sign. Here's what it's going to look like. Existing west elevation. And here's the new sign placed within that existing frame. And then all the electrical will be taken away.
Okay.
If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. If not, the applicant's here.
Okay. Jerry Signs has a representative here.
My name's Daniel Rourke, work for Jerry's Signs at 15775 Porterfield Highway. The sign on the side, this MDO sign, I've been trying to get a hold of Taylor and Autumn. Autumn had a medical thing. I haven't been able to talk to her in a week or so. I was trying to get a hold of Taylor Lindsay to see what he was going to paint the exterior of the building. He was supposed to be proposing. We were going to match that to the existing frame. We will be taking the gooseneck lights down, capping everything off just to make it look cleaner. I can't speak for what color it's going to be as of right now because I don't have an answer at this moment. But for the front sign, it's exactly as Gabe said. It'll be a carved HDU sign, be mounted inside of that. There may be a slight variation of mounting type depending. We may have to go with a kind of a steel structure instead of the hanging just for support, depending if she decides on the HDU or the MDO material.
Mm-hmm. It certainly comes within the size of the guidelines for the sign, and it certainly is. It looks to me like anyway it's at least 8 feet. I mean 6
Yes.
feet up or 8 feet up where it's supposed to be. That's nice.
And again, if for these existing ones, typically we would not allow a sign in the sidewalk, but because the structure's there, the existing sign's there, it's just grandfathered in. If they were removed, then we'd be talking a different story.
I have a question or two about the flat sign on the side of the building.
Yes, ma'am.
So presumably he is going to paint the building and to paint the siding.
That is what I've
So-
been told. Between him and Autumn, they
Yeah.
have been discussing repainting the whole building,
Right.
possibly redoing the awnings and everything on the front.
Yeah.
But at this time, I have not had an answer from either.
Well, if he does, will you need to adjust the color scheme that you have here?
The color scheme for the sign will stay the same. Depending on what he does with the siding, will kind of justify what the border becomes to make the sign stand out.
Oh, okay. The border color.
Yes.
So you do need to have some leeway on the border color then?
Depending on what Taylor and Autumn decide to do with the siding, yes.
Okay, okay. Gabe has mentioned that this sign has already been there. It's larger than what we require, as you well know. But there is Section 42C, which does give leeway for signs on the sides of buildings if it's a restaurant or something like that going forward. But also this is an existing sign, and this is newly brought into the historic district, and it's not going to be eliminated.
May I ask Daniel, the frame, depending on what they pick as the color, is that what you were going to pick for the frame as well?
It'll ultimately be up to her what she decides and what Taylor decides. We're going to try to keep everything as uniform as we can to what they decide to do with the building. You know, I don't want it to be a brown building and a hot pink frame, nothing in that nature. But I just don't have a definitive answer at this time until I talk to them.
And the reason why I just asked is because if you wanted to give them a little leeway in a sense, or at least something they could go to, you could say, you know, approved as presented with the purple frame, or to paint it the same color as the siding, so this way they don't have to come back. Now, if they want to, if the siding gets painted a gray and they want to paint the frame black, they would have to come back, but at least maybe gives another option. This way they don't have to come back for another meeting if they're just going to paint the frame the same color as the siding down the road.
Well, right now, of course, the frame is definitely intended to be a different color from the siding. In order for it to stand out, you probably want that to continue, don't you?
That would be my guess.
Yes.
And if you notice on the main side of the picture of the building that Gabe has, the shutters and everything was matched to the frame along with the bottom door.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, that's the same scheme they're going to go back with. So whatever Autumn and Taylor decide is what we'll do to the sign frame.
Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out, in case you feel like we do need to have another look at what color is to approve that color. We are at August the 20th now, so we're heading into the month. It won't be long before we have our next meeting.
Yes.
Do you think that would be too long?
Honestly, I can't really say.
I mean, we don't want to hold you up, from the work. I mean, we could probably figure out how to approve it within a scope of colors or something like that. I think they definitely do not want it to be the same color as the background.
No, well, then you could say how Daniel was saying, if they're going to kind of go with the same scheme as like where the trim, the shutters, everything's one color and the siding's another color, you could say, the frame can match the color of the shutters.
Well, actually, I mean, they're going to have that approved anyway.
So a paint scheme was approved when
Oh.
this was in the planning commission. I think it was gray and some black.
It was some black.
So
yeah.
and they've been
Oh,
extended
okay.
for that. Again, that might,
If they keep that.
yeah.
Okay.
Again, I'm not sure if that's changing. They did ask for an extension for that kind of design when this was under the planning commission's purview. So that color scheme could still be used, and it was just a gray with black, which is typical of the colors we see in the OH District 2. That's something that the planning commission took into consideration as well.
Well, we could have our motion reflect matching what has been approved with the trim on the sign matching the shutters, et cetera. Or to return if it's different, because if they have changed the paint colors for the building, they'll have to come back
They would have to
anyway.
come back before you then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
That's fine, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I have a question.
Okay, you have a question? Okay.
So is this two-sided?
Yes.
So if you end up having to put the supports behind, they wouldn't be continuous behind the sign because it would block the text.
It would be two separate sign faces. It would be joined together. The frame would be in between the two
gotcha.
sign faces. It really depends on material chosen and how we need to structure that material.
Okay,
Thanks.
good. Any more questions? Public comment? Anybody? Okay. All right. Anybody feel comfortable with crafting a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it as presented, and then the trim to go along with the prior
Yes.
approval as well. But both signs as presented.
Yes, with that caveat on the flat sign being the color to match the trim. All right. Okay, that good?
Sounds good to me.
All righty. Second?
I'll second.
Amanda Pillion seconds the motion made by Brooke Bunn. Any further questions or comments? Roll call.
Mr. Boyd,
Aye.
Mrs. Pillion,
Aye.
Mrs. White,
Aye.
and Mrs. Bunn.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Our second application for certificate of appropriateness is also within our new 300 block of Main Street. Charles Hale is the applicant owner at 309 East Main Street. Staff report.
So yes, Charles Hale, applicant/owner, has requested approval of a certificate of appropriateness for a variety of site and exterior repairs and alterations, including chimney repair, foundation repair, wood rot replacement, brick stairs, and brick patio. The property is located at 301 East Main Street, parcel 013-1-72, and this is also within our Subdistrict 1 Civic Size Business Focused, and again, the new, our newly expanded one in 2023.
It's 309 instead of 301.
Oh, my apologies. I must have fat fingered that. 309 East Main Street. My apologies. According to Places in Time, Volume 2, written by Nancy King, R.J. Summers had the building now known as R.J. Summers House, built in 1909. A son of Colonel John Summers, he was elected Commonwealth Attorney in 1908, and within the same year married Della Elizabeth Gobble. After J. Frank Drugan, then a manager of Abbott Motor Company, owned the building from 1921 to 1938. According to the Department of Historic Resources, DHRV CRIS database, the 1.5-story, 4-bay folk Victorian-style building was built circa 1909. The contributing building possesses a good level of architectural integrity, retaining its form, massing, and historic period windows. The circa 1930 garage is a contributing structure as well. You can see on the Sanborn maps in your packet, the building showed up in 1913, 1922, and 1928. As you'll kind of see too as we go through the photos, there's been an addition, like it's almost a sunroom area. That is not part of the footprint that you see in your Sanborn maps. So that is not a contributing part of that building. Just to keep that in mind. Okay. The applicant proposes to repoint the existing line-based mortar joints of the 2 brick central chimneys that you can see here, with a line-based mortar to match the existing composition, color, and profile. After repointing the existing line-based mortar joints, new bricks will be used to replace any missing bricks associated with the existing chimney cap. All new bricks will match the existing material, design, and appearance. There are numerous sections visible from the street where the mortar is missing or failing. After all things have been repaired and repointed, a copper chimney cap, similar to those found throughout the OH district, will be placed over both central chimney caps. So that's more of that kind of rectangular, low-profile one that we see in all of our other historic buildings. So they'll be placed here and then one here. Any questions for that before I move on to the next section? The applicant proposed to repoint and relay various sections of the existing brick foundation with a lime-based mortar and the existing bricks to match the existing composition, color, and profile. There are numerous sections visible from the street where mortar is missing or failing. So this is on the front end, where kind of the bay window is, and this is on the back end of the building. This is just a few examples. I took pictures of for you there. But you would see that they would realign the bricks, then repoint them, and then they'd be all set after that in that sense. The applicant proposed to redirect the existing painted brown metal round downspouts into the ground to better direct water away from the existing brick foundation. All above ground components should be a type of metal pre-finished to blend in with the existing downspouts, so no plastic should be seen from above ground. So this right here, there's some in the back too. The water, how the ground is, it's slope towards the foundation. So they're wanting to put the gutters underneath the ground, and so the water gets directed away from the building. And that's probably why some of the mortar is how it is, because water's been splashing up against it. Now onto the porch. The applicant proposes to reconstruct a brick pillar using lime-based mortar to match the existing brick pillar on the opposite side. So you can see there's a brick pillar here, but something's missing here. If I go to the next photo, you'll see here's the stairs again. There's the brick pillar here, and you can see the remnants of what used to be another brick pillar on this side. That's right here. So they're looking to recreate what was there before. The applicant proposed to remove the existing wooden front porch steps and replace them with brick steps using a lime-based mortar. The bricks will match those used for the town sidewalks. I looked at these screws and nails. They're what we use modern. They're not historic nails. So these stairs are not of the historic nature. The applicant proposed to replace any existing rotted wooden ceiling strips. So you can see there's a few here where water's kind of infiltrated in. And flooring to match the existing in material design and appearance. So whatever's rotted here on the decking and the ceiling will be replaced with a like-for-like material and design. Anything in good condition will remain. To the back portion of the building, again, this portion of the building is not in that original footprint or the evolution of the building that you see in the Sanborn maps. It's kind of that back addition, starting from here, going backwards.
Designed by Peyton Boyd. Sorry.
The applicant, the applicant proposed replacing the existing painted green wooden screen door with a new painted green wooden screen door matching the existing material, design, and appearance. So again, this is not the historic part of it. This is something that's meant to blend in with it, but not be a part of its integrity. And then the applicant proposed to install a brick walkway and pad at the rear of the property. The bricks will match those used for the town sidewalks. The brick walkway will connect the existing gravel parking lot, which you can see here. And then kind of come down here, and there'll be a patio here, and then connect into the sunroom. And then they're also looking to repair the shed, but there was already a previous approval for that one through a waiver to replace the roof, because as we can just see from this photo, the roofing is it just needs a whole new roof because there are parts of it that are missing, parts that have been rusted off, and they're going to replace some of the wood that's been rotted off. So they already had a previous waiver from the previous owner, so that waiver is just going to the current owner. That's all I have for you. If you have any questions about anything that I've noted here, I can touch on it. If not, the applicant's here to answer any question you may have, and I believe they have some samples too for you to look at.
All righty. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
Glad to be here. Good afternoon. My name's Charlie Hale. I think I've had the privilege of knowing or meeting all of you except Mr. Boyd. Nice to meet you. I am the new homeowner at 309 East Main. I'm looking forward to being a resident of the historic district and a citizen of Abingdon. Also, I will express my envy that apparently the clothing store was able to get Jerry Signs, the expert, to come and represent them, whereas I'm kind of going to have to wing it because construction is not my expertise, and I have others who can speak more intelligently to this.
That's all right. We usually have the owner, so that's
Okay.
right. You're exactly right.
So I have a few samples, as Gabe mentioned. Gabe, I appreciate your work on this, and if I've missed calls from you, I apologize. I was in Utah last week. I got 2 calls from the town of Abingdon today, and my phone wouldn't work, so I don't know what the problem was. Initially, and I apologize, I have not made copies of these. I'm going to provide a schematic of my proposed sidewalk and patio. It's 42 inches wide from the parking lot to the patio, as Gabe said. A brick paver situation like is on the sidewalks in Abingdon. On the patio, it's a place where I'd want to put patio furniture and a grill, for example. I also have
a drawing of the copper chimney cap. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to represent. I think that Gabe adequately described it. It's simply rolled copper that has been molded to fit these chimneys. I'm not sure if Gabe addressed it, but there are also some bricks on the chimney that need some similar repairs to that's on the base of the home, or the foundation of the home. And then finally, I've got an example from, I guess, Amazon or somewhere, that is the proposed lime mortar, which we intend to use for all brickwork. So I can go ahead and offer this up to you. With respect to the foundation of the home and the chimney, these are the types of bricks that I think they're an orange and a brown, or an orange and a yellow, and I think when they're kind of laid alongside one another, they kind of reflect what the sidewalks look like here in town. But these are full bricks, of course, so I guess this would be more for the foundation and the chimney. With respect to the proposed improvements to the front porch, this is the proposed ceiling for the proposed wood for the ceiling. It says it's spruce. It's of a similar width to what's identified in that picture. It's got this kind of groove in it, but otherwise it's, I guess you'd say, like tongue and groove type material. Similar for the porch floor. It's also of the same width of what's currently on the building. These are wood, not composite material. The one thing that I would note that is, I don't know, I guess I'd make an oral amendment to my request here, is I'm not sure what color we're talking about for the roof at this time of the ceiling. Either the same yellow color, or there's a note here that says light blue color. I'm sure y'all are familiar with this, the haint blue color that's in many homes throughout the South. So if there was an alternate color, that would be the color that we would propose for exclusively for the front porch ceiling, which is essentially out of public view. So these are my materials. I'm happy to pass these bricks around if y'all would like to see them.
I think we can see them from there.
Okay. Wood, I'll pass it around. I think Gabe hit on just about everything. One item I guess I'll note with respect to the front stairs, Gabe noted due to the nails and other construction materials, we know they're newer construction, but also there was an historic portrait within the home that someone had drawn. I don't know the year of it, but the width of the steps, if you notice the width of the steps here, it's much narrower than the porch itself. The portrait that I provided to Gabe, the steps historically, at least according to this picture, were the width of the porch, along with there were risers or a riser, I guess. So I think that a brick step there would match the foundation and would be historically consistent. I think I've hit on the back stuff, the outside shed. I'll also share with you the roof has been, I guess, grandfathered in. The property line actually goes through the shed, so I need to get with the owner of the adjacent property because at some point there may be some additional improvements that need to be made to that shed. So I just want to go ahead and give you a heads up on that. It was badly storm damaged at one time. I was denied home insurance by a couple of people because there's the potential for liability that exists with respect to the condition of the outbuilding at this time. I think that the downspouts on the gutters, we've addressed that. I think that's a fairly significant risk to the structural integrity of the foundation. So that's something that I definitely believe is a priority. The others are largely aesthetic matters, but I do think that they fall within the criteria as outlined in the ordinances. So I believe that's the materials that I have. If there are any questions for me, I'm happy to try to answer them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions or any of that?
The one thing I would just ask, would it be possible to maybe get the bottom of the floor to be just a flat plank instead of the groove? Because typically, historically, they didn't have you see the bottom? It has that groove in it.
This one?
Yeah.
At the bottom?
I'm not exactly sure.
And I just asked more of a curious question.
And I don't know. I didn't procure that personally, and honestly, I don't know.
Well, I think it's just a tongue and groove.
I think he's referring to the part in your left hand.
On the bottom side of it. Typically, they were just flat on either side.
That's not going to be visible.
I know, I'm just saying.
I don't
You
really
could still
see any
see it.
difference. It's-
You could still see it from the street, but I'm just pointing it out.
How many steps are you going to have? Will there be 2 steps up, are you thinking?
I would imagine two. I don't have a drawing at this time, but I would imagine 2 steps, yes.
And those are new steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going by the screws, too. The screws are modern screws, are not historic, so
Yeah.
the stair is not original or part of the
Right.
historic progression of the house.
Okay. And, I mean, do we have any other questions? I think you've been very thorough on a long list of things.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm doing some improvements to the inside of the home right now, and just want to try to take care of everything in one fell swoop to the extent possible. Like I said, I know that the shed in the back will require potentially a revisit, but at this time, I'm trying to take care of as much as I can, and looking forward to being there.
I will point out, too, since all this is getting reviewed by the HPRB board and everything, and we discussed on site, we do have a tax abatement program, so because everything's been reviewed and if approved by the HPRB, then you would be able to come back and apply for a tax abatement for doing the work.
Correct.
To that amount, just to make you aware.
One of the many advantages of being in the historic
I
district.
know, exactly, right?
Yeah, you really should do it. We missed out on that. We didn't do it. So.
All right.
The handrail, are you going to reuse the handrail or do something similar with that?
I don't know if that specific handrail, I might be by code required to have a handrail, I'm not sure. If that's a question I don't know the answer to, frankly. I don't know if that handrail is specifically historic or if it's associated with the home. I guess I would accept some guidance on that if it's something that is if anything, any approval is contingent upon a handrail, then certainly I would do
It
whatever I
must
had to
not
do.
be code because I don't have handrails,
If,
but they weren't existing.
yeah, if, with this being a new stair, the building code, again, I don't know the exact measurements, but
Because we didn't replace.
they may need to have a handrail by when Rick's looking at it and everything. In the past, when it's been a new handrail, or they can keep it, just refurbish this one because it looks to be in decent shape. You've just approved like basic ones that kind of just square pickets and it's kind of got like a swished handle at the end, kind of just something very basic. But it might be required by building code depending on how many steps and the rise of it and everything.
Yeah, I was just bringing that up just so that you know that we typically, if it's something really ornate or something, that is not kind of what we allow. So just
Okay.
very simple,
Okay.
very simple and,
I would say that if it were not required, there would not be a handrail, would
Okay.
be my guess. But if one is required or recommended or suggested, then we'll take the appropriate steps.
Okay. Okay.
I think,
All right.
I think you'll find that you'll still need probably 3 risers, just looking at that. I think 2 would make them too high.
And it may be, I don't know. I don't know how high off the ground that is. So, for what it's worth, the portrait that I provided to Gabe only had 2 steps. So, I don't know again how accurate or what year that was.
Well, if the top if you continue that band of wood and just start the brick
At the brick.
at the next step, then 2 would probably do it, but I don't think you could do
Well, we,
2 with the way it is now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you could put in a motion, just because I believe in the guidelines, there's something about if a railing is needed, a simple black railing with square pickets is required. You can put that in your motion. If a handrail is required by building code, then that can be something you add into the motion. Or you could say that, or refurbish the existing one that's there.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got sort of a complicated motion. And I think we'll probably just do it in one motion, because it sounds to me like we're pretty much in agreement to this certificate. So the motion will be to repair the chimney as presented, to do the foundation and the gutters as presented, and the downspouts as presented, I mean. To do the roof repairs to the porch roof, as repaired, ceiling, I should say, as pointed out, with the caveat of the paint being the paint to pretty much match what's there, or the okay for the
The paint blue.
for the
yeah.
for the paint blue.
Yeah, we have other colors like that.
Yes. Okay, and then to replace the wooden steps with brick steps, either 2 or 3, depending upon what is code, and to replace to include a handrail if necessary by code, and if so, for it to be of simple design.
Sorry, the more I look at it, I think it would be better if the stairs start at the bottom of that wood band, not going,
Up to the level.
yeah, because if you try to go to the level, you'd either have a little,
Well, I think an issue, I can't see exactly, but as Gabe first pointed out, there was at one time a pillar on the left side, and I can't see behind there exactly.
The other pillar's about here.
it looks like that wood band is continuous behind the wood stairs.
Yes.
And I'm just saying, I think it'd be better to leave that, or repair it, or replace it, and then start the brick stairs at the bottom of that wood band.
Yeah, and so that third step would be onto the porch.
Yeah, the third step would be to step up onto the
Yeah.
porch. Yeah. Okay. All right, and that's all repairs and renovations. And then new construction is to build a brick patio outside the screened-in porch and a walkway, a brick walkway from the parking area to the patio.
Correct. And I think Gabe mentioned at least to the back porch screen door.
Yes.
But both screen doors you can see in the upper left-hand side right there, they need repairs, so I will likely just make a replacement that's
replace the
basically
door?
identical to that door.
Okay. And to replace the screened porch screen door. Okay. Does that get it?
And the chimney cap, the copper chimney cap. be
Oh, I
installed.
thought, well, I said at the beginning, the chimney repairs and the cap, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good?
I'm good if y'all are.
All right, just a minute.
I'm not leaving.
All right, all right. So, any further questions or comments? How about public? All right, then, I'm ready for a second to that motion.
I'll second it.
Amanda Pillion seconded the motion. Oh, and you're making the motion, because I just was,
Oh.
I wasn't making it, I just was trying to articulate it.
Okay, I will make
Make
the
the motion,
motion
okay,
as presented by the chair.
okay.
And I will second that.
Okay, Ms. Bunn has seconded the motion. Further comment? Roll call.
Excuse me. Mr. Boyd,
Aye.
Mrs. Pillion,
Aye.
Mrs. White,
Aye,
and Mrs. Bunn.
Aye.
there you go.
Thank you very much.
All right,
And then-
thank you very much.
Thank you all for your time and consideration. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Charlie, I'll keep the samples just to take
Absolutely.
photos of them, and then when I come by, I'll hand them
And will
off
there
to
be
you.
a formal report or anything as a result of this vote?
So yeah, you'll get a approval letter. I would say too, since we've to help make sure the project stays on track and everything, and updates. You know, if something's getting done that's related to the project, feel free to give me a call and I can come and take a look at it. You know, make sure that we're.
Well, I guess my question would be, at what point can I begin scheduling these outside improvements?
Well, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're ready.
since you'll have an approval document tomorrow.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Nice house.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, on the agenda next are public comments. Do we have any public comments? Okay. We have 3 waivers to go over.
Oh, yeah, so one's for 163 West Valley Street. It's just repainting the existing latex base painted white wooden front porch steps to match existing, so nothing different there. That one has been completed. 228 West Valley Street, repair, replace, and repaint latex base painted wooden architectural features to match existing. That one is ongoing. And then 266 West Valley Street, replace the pre-finished bronze steel roof coping. That one has been completed.
Okay.
Now on to, if you want me to move on, I can move on to Historic Preservation Day
Yeah.
discussion.
No discussion or comments about the waivers needed. Okay, all right. Historic Preservation Day.
Okay. So, Historic Preservation Day, we've got the money, I think for 3 years now, going on maybe 4. Has been through the CLG program that DHR offers.
Mm-hmm.
That money comes from the federal government first, down to the state entity, then to who they award it to. The funds have been released now to the state entities and everything, and they've already had reviewed the applications. We got approved for Preservation Day, and we just signed the contract to officially start work on the project earlier this week. We have usually had the event in October, but given that we're almost in September now, and we've just signed the contract, probably we want to move it to November to have 2 months of actually getting the word out, getting a good group, because when we've had 2 months to really get the word out, as we've all seen, it's grown more and more and more, and we've actually asked for more money this year to hopefully get a bigger room at the Martha, because people were literally out the door last year. So we're looking to do that, but as we've discussed, we did have some people in mind, so I can officially reach out to them now. One is Carolyn, who came, I think 2 years ago, from DHR to talk about the DHR tax credits, the state tax credits, because we've had more people applying for them, more questions. So just kind of review for new homeowners, people that maybe just want to get into it now, that they see the value in them and don't truly understand the process, but it's always good to have somebody who's going to be reviewing their stuff and get them through the process to come here and speak on it.
So she'll review the state tax credits, and
Yes.
we will have somebody from here review the local?
Yeah, we can go over the local
Yeah,
ones
I
too,
think,
as
'cause
like
I
a
think that's
piggyback.
hugely important.
Yeah. The other one was maybe reach out to another supplier for who does historic window repair.
Mhm.
Lynchburg Glass did some work in town, and I've looked at their stuff, and they seem to be a pretty good one. We had Double Hung come before, so it's always good to get a different organization to come and reinforce what we believe in, what's the proper procedure. So looking at that. The other one is to invite another DHR representative, Joanna Green. She's in charge of cemetery preservation. And so we have the historic cemetery over there. And so in preparation, maybe, building on top of our preservation plan to tell people how to properly repair and fix and what to do with historic materials of gravestones. So kind of diversify as we've been doing, It's not just about the building, it's about the site, other types of resources. In terms of where we maybe want to have a tour, might be retirement, we'll see, just before work actually happens on that, because as you know, we got a grant to fix it up. The RFP's been out, and we've received some that we're reviewing. So maybe it'd be cool to have people walk through after it's been cleaned up a little bit to see, what it looks like now. And then when it gets finished for our VA 250 celebration, that will be happening in September of 2026 to see when it's finished. Since every year we've kind of done a different stage of preservation, this way they can kind of see both the start and the finish this year, for this coming year. So that's our 3 speakers I have in mind. So far, I'm still filling out the roster a little bit here. If you guys have any suggestions of what you would maybe like to hear, or maybe what people have said, I'm really interested in this part, but I haven't heard anything about it. I'm all ears.
I'd like to have this component every time that we do it. Abington's Historic District is beautiful, and it's full of beautiful, beautiful structures. And I know that when we asked Mike Pulis to do an overview of structures that were somewhere else and maybe here, it was so nice to visually see the buildings. I would love to have him, if possible, come and do a presentation. It's just a short one, but an overview of, say, pick one period that we have represented so much. I mean, the Italianate and the Greek Revival and all that. I mean, just to do an architectural overview, maybe just an overview of what our historic district is. You know, a selection of different buildings.
Yeah, no, I like
I
that.
think would be, I think it engenders pride in what we have here.
No, I like that.
Which is what we're all about.
No, yeah, I like that. And obviously, we'd be inviting Mike, Aubrey, everybody from DHI we
Anyway,
had before.
Yeah.
Also, well, it might be beneficial in that sense because we are getting our, as you know, we had a cost share grant award to us, and we had our nomination forms that were from 1970 and 1986 that weren't up to snuff. Today's
Well, they were
standards.
just very old
And
and short.
we are, I guess I can say this, the crown jewel of this side of the state. And, Abington deserves to have a nomination form that's to the likes of the ones of Williamsburg and all the other ones on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I've received the first draft of the first one. It looks very good.
Very good.
So it might be apropos since we've had a new survey and they've looked at it and, more detail has been put into it. So it might be good to
That's
highlight
good, yeah.
highlight that portion of it that,
Yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
very good.
But that's all I got for you, just to kind of give you an update. I know Christy, even though she's not here, she asked about it, I think, last month, and we didn't know anything yet.
Right.
But since then, we've received a lot more information. So we've kind of been brainstorming, and then now we can officially start the work.
Okay. Do you have any selection of dates in November, or is it still open?
It's still open. I'm going to look now, since just this
Okay.
week we got the contract, so I'm going to
Okay.
take a look and see what would work best. Obviously, I know we have Thanksgiving, so we want to avoid
Right.
that week altogether.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what
Well,
we're
we'll look forward to it.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to discuss?
Just one matter on the matters on the agenda.
Certainly.
Hiram Geisler, 228 East Main Street. I was just wondering on the status of the paintings on the windows in town. We had a work session and determined under the guidelines that those are to only be up for 30 days, and they went up June 1 and they're still up.
I will be making contact with.
What's that?
I'll be making contact with her.
Has there been any contact with them yet?
Well, previously for that, but then we saw a new one go up it wasn't in the historic district, but it was in another area. So we'll be having another conversation, and then they will have to be taken down. The ones that are.
Is there a time frame for that?
I'll be talking with her, and we'll have to see. But it'll probably be sooner rather than later because obviously fall is almost here.
Okay. So they have exceeded the temporary.
They've been up since June 1.
So
Yeah.
they've exceeded the temporary
So
time.
we will be
period.
having a conversation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
What about the guidelines?
Still working on those. I gotta send some more stuff to the contractor, but we're getting to. We've reviewed all the sections that we have or that we were adding. So now it's just more of looking at their drawings of like the architectural styles, like we were saying for like what's Italianate look like, what's federal look like, that kind of stuff, and then all the verbiage and the other illustrations that we're gonna add to that.
So you think we may have a work session coming up?
Could be, yeah, depending on what they have, yeah. Some of it might not be totally of everything, but it might be all, some other things that we've asked them for, like color might be one thing where I'm like, can we fix the green and not maybe do more earth and tone color, like a brick color or a sand, a tan, something like that. Because as we've talked, it seems like the green's been either the pattern or the color, something's standing out where we're not liking the look of it.
Mhm.
So,
Good. So we're not only redoing our ordinance, our original ordinance in 1970, we're also updating our guidelines.
yeah.
Did you say there's going to be a work session
Possibly. I'd have to see what I get from them.
Okay. Any other business or comments? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Also move.
Ms. Pillion, move to adjourn.
Second.
Peyton Boyd seconded. Roll call.
Mr. Boyd,
Aye.
Mrs. Pillion,
Aye.
Mrs. White,
Aye.
and Mrs. Bunn.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.